Hey guys, it's Tiana from TheReach. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how it is being around special needs people and ALA students, which is the special needs student, and the benefits of it and what it can teach you. The first thing I want to say is it's absolutely amazing. It is one of the best things you can do for yourself. And a lot of that is because it teaches you life skills. A lot of what it teaches you is leadership, obviously, and you're going to need that, for everything in the future. And it teaches you how to teach others to mediate, and instead of fighting, lead them to a solution instead of telling them what to do, so they can develop those critical skills of problem solving. It teaches you patience, which is a big key in communicating with a special needs student. When you're not patient, they feel like they're not being listened to and they're not cared about, so it's very hard to communicate with them. Another thing it teaches you is to be compassionate, and everybody needs compassion in your heart. I really do believe that, because it helps you see different perspectives, and so do special needs students, because they show you their way of doing things, and it shows you that there are people in this world who are limited but exceed boundaries that people think are set upon them. And I'll talk about that when I talk about talents. One thing I wanted to say is it really doesn't matter what job you're getting. Helping ALA students or special needs people, even if they're elderly, can really help you in jobs, because they see that you're willing to adapt to new situations that you haven't been in before. They see that you're willing to give up your time for people that may not have much time or may need more time. If you're good at math, see if you can help somewhere in your local community to communicate with ALA students or special needs people with math. You can be that one person that gets them into a university or college where they would have normally not been able to go, and that is a huge gift to that family, and they will be thanking you forever. If you want to be a doctor, it helps you communicate effectively, and it helps you know what students need that are, have limitations or physical impairments, because it lets you know how comfortable they are, what they're comfortable with, what kind of therapy they need, what kind of medications, so you'll know all that beforehand and you won't be surprised or shocked when it comes. I just got a job at Subway, and they wanted to know how good my adaptability was. Very good. You will get chosen before anybody else if you have the ability to adapt to a new situation and you have those leadership skills that can get you through any situation because you've handled a lot of it. And that's what they look for in jobs today. Another thing is society today, they're not accepting of special needs students, and it breaks my heart because they're still people, they're still humans. And I don't care how many people are going to hate on me for saying that, because it's really sad that people can't see that they are just like everybody else. They just have a slower learning ability, or maybe they can't write with one hand, or maybe their leg's cut off, or they can't see right, or maybe they have epilepsy. There are a variety of things, but we all have our flaws, and we all need somebody patient and understanding to help get us through certain things we can't grasp. And I'm here to make society see that diversity is okay, and to grasp how special needs children, adults, anybody with a special need, how they need to be taken care of. And another thing I wanted to say is they know how comfortable you are. So if you're not going to be comfortable, maybe you don't work with that special needs student, or if you don't know how to act in front of them, go find an ALA student teacher or a counselor and have them help you think of different ways you can communicate with them, so that way nothing's awkward. One thing I do is I bring things to them. If some people like to color, I just ask who likes to color, and I give out the books, because one, they're new. They love new stuff. They love other people's stuff, just like kids do when I babysit, because it's something new, it's something somebody is trusting them with, and they don't get a lot of responsibility or leadership roles, so they'll love that. Another thing is stickers. Love stickers. And another one is they have little jokes on the back of Laffy Taffies, and maybe you guys can take turns reading those and trying to guess them. They love stuff like that, or playing charades, or passing out those cheesy joke cards. Maybe ordering pizza and playing basketball. I mean, if you're a guy who's never worked with a special needs student and he's your age, play basketball with him. It's awesome, and if he can't do much, show him how, because he will really appreciate it, even if he can't talk. I promise. The greatest satisfaction of working with an ALA student or a special needs person or anybody with a physical impairment, anything, is the smile they get out of you giving up your time to be with them. And you really develop bonds, and they last a lifetime. They really do. I will never ever let go of the relationships that I have made with the ALA students at my school. If you're about to start maybe an internship or be a mentor or anything like that with ALA students and you've never dealt with them, one thing I would do is go to Special Olympics if you still can, if it hasn't passed, or get involved in PALS. Special Olympics is where special needs students get to compete, and it's like the Olympics. You'll get assigned a buddy, or at least I did when I went, and you'll, cheer them on, encourage them, and do that. Because if you don't see hope in them, they won't see hope in themselves. If you aren't motivated, they aren't motivated. And, you've wasted your time and their time. So encourage them. I don't care how silly you look. Do not care how silly you look, because you will be the one that brightens up someone's day. And, you might teach them a new thing. They might teach you a new thing. Special needs people are some of the greatest teachers we have on this earth, and I really do believe that with all of my heart. Another thing is PALS, as I had mentioned. PALS is peer assistance and leadership skills. Sorry, blanked for a minute there. It's an organization, and ours is in school. I do it in my school. You can also do it in your community. Just look up PALS in your area, find a local one and see if you can do that. What we do is a lot of community service, and it's fun. We do the little parades. We help the ALA students, as I said, the Special Olympics. We do recycle pickup some days, and we're a bunch of positive people, so that's the involvement part. And a lot of other stuff we do is help the needy. And when I say help the needy, I mean assist them in anything that they need. ALA students, of course, we work with them. As I had said, the Special Olympics, but we also do piano night, which is a great thing to do if you have never been around an ALA student, and you have to shortly be around one, because it'll give you a few hours to see what it's like, see what things worked that you did and what things didn't. Piano stands for Parent Night Out, and it's on base, at least the one here is, and they're on San Antonio bases. That's where we do it. Definitely go look and see if it's on a base near you, because it is amazing. The one we have is sponsored by Camp, and that is an organization that lets special needs students go to camp, and they get help. A lot of them get aid, because a lot of it is donations from PALS and from a lot of other people who care that let them go to camp for free, some of them. So it's really awesome. And at P&O, parents drop off their special needs students. You don't have to have an ID, but you do have to call them and ask them if it's okay if you come, and they'll just let the front gate know to let you in. But you need to ask. So those are some groups you can get into. And effective learning is a big thing. I always try to help them learn something, not just throw popcorn everywhere and leave it. Like, that's one example. If they don't know hygiene, maybe when they make a mess, don't clean it up for them all the time. Help them clean it up, but say, hey, come on, and explain why. If they can understand you, say, people have to spend time picking this up. Why don't we help them? Make it sound cool, make it sound fun, because it teaches them to be better citizens and, do things that they normally wouldn't know to do. And it will be very appreciated. Trust me. And just the fact that you took time to teach them will be a huge, huge motivation in their own lives. My brothers even told me that. Another thing is, if a special needs student is trying to go out a door they're not allowed to go to, don't push them because it can feel aggressive. Guide them, kind of go like this, like you're going to hug them, and just say, come on, and start going the other way. Never grab onto them. Another thing is, if something's getting out of control, get someone in a charge immediately. I say that because you never know what can happen sometimes, and I don't mean that in a scary way. I mean that, sometimes you may not understand something that they do. Everybody has times in a relationship where they don't understand what the other person's doing, whether that's a spouse, a friend, anybody, teacher. So, some of them, I've worked with one student who was 15 but had the mind of a 1-year-old, and he likes to put his hands in his mouth and put everything in his mouth, so you have to watch him, and he likes to touch your face, so he'll put his fingers in his mouth and then he'll touch your face, and he might pull your hair a little bit. So sometimes people, their instant reaction is to slap them. Don't do that. Take their hand and be like, you can't do that, okay? And put it down. Maybe practice what to do, like say, if you need me, grab my hand, and show him, grab his hand, and lead him somewhere, and then say, you try. Things like that all the time. That helps. Another thing is, if they're not good with counting, when you take steps, maybe in between the sidewalk creases, count. Say 1, 2, and then say, ready? We're going to do another one. 1, 2. Stairs, everything. It really does help. The main thing in this video was that special needs students are teachers. They teach us and we can teach them, and we're only as good as we make our country. So part of freedom in the USA is giving everybody freedom. So if I can help in any way I can to give special needs people that freedom, I will. And I think it should be something every citizen does. So definitely get involved with them. They're amazing people. Thanks, and see you next time.